Hey, 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 aloha. Good morning to all of you tuning into my third episode, I believe, today about real, raw, relatable messages with Roxelle. Honestly, this is where I'm going to come now to spread whatever comes to mind. I ran my brand of Fused Hawaii, and during these many of years of running a business, being a mom, growing this, I'm on my 6th pregnancy right now. I feel like there has been a lot of things that I could share, lessons that I've learned. And honestly, guys, I used to do YouTube videos that were fully edited, and I had my entire team backing me and putting the captions in and recording it properly and all of that great things. And I decided to throw that out the window because in order for me to come to you real, raw, relatable, I can't have all that set up. So right now I'm coming to you through my phone when I roll out of bed in the morning or whenever I feel inspired to talk to you. I want to be able to share with you right off the top of my dome whatever comes to me, because I feel like those are the messages that need to be heard the most. Those are the voices you need to hear the most. And sometimes I have such a passion about the things that I want to talk to, and if it's not right there in the moment, it's not going to get to you 3 days later, edited, cut, all of this in the most authentic way possible. So here you are, you get me in my jammies. Yay for you. But you get me in good spirits, good energy, always having something to talk about. You even have the dogs barking in the back. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are at. And today, ladies, real, raw, and relatable with Roxelle, let's start off with the card from my Body Love Letters deck first, just to keep it positive and see if this goes with what we're talking about today. This will be interesting. What will come out of the deck? Because I kind of have a topic I want to speak of and see where it goes. It's always girl talk with me, and who really knows what's going to come out of my mouth, right? I've got the gift of gab. My body is wise and my intuition is strong. So these are all body love letters to myself. If you're looking for this intention deck, if we're not sold out currently, it is at fusedhawaii.com. So check it out, and perhaps we'll link it up in the caption below. But my body is wise and my intuition is strong. So this is confirmation that what I came on here that I was a little bit afraid about to talk to you about is accurate. We're just gonna go. The card said so. So if my body is wise and my intuition is strong, I can trust that I was inspired to come on here and share this message with any of you who happen to stumble upon my channel when there are so many other really great channels out there. You're here with me, so thanks. Sorry, not sorry. I know you're gonna get something great out of this though today, because you didn't just stumble upon this for no reason. It was meant to be. I believe in that stuff. So what comes to mind? My intuition being strong. I think that's what led me here to starting this YouTube channel. Raw, real, relatable with me, the way it is, really unkempt, not planned. And I just had this pulling on my soul to just get out here, say what you need to say, do what you need to do. And, the moment I started doing that, you get a lot of feedback. When you're honest, they don't tell you that as a kid. They tell you not to lie. It's only adults tell you as a kid, don't lie, don't lie. Don't lie. I find myself saying that to my kids sometimes, but I had to actually reverbiage that and say, hey, trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your inner guidance. Trust your wisdom. I was only taught not to lie growing up. What was a lie? If I try to rewind back as a child, or the reactions on my children's faces, if I tell them not to lie, I see like a negative connotation with that word. If you tell me not to lie, I would say that I'd be a liar in some way if I wasn't being honest or real or true. Like as a child, I'm trying to think of what possibly could have came to my mind when they told me not to lie. And I knew that being called a liar made me feel really, really horrible. I know that religion taught me that liars wouldn't inherit God's kingdom. I know that the schools punished me for lying. I know that my parents punished me for lying. So, what did that mean? How did that affect me? And what I learned growing up is that I had to learn who I was. They didn't teach me that part. They didn't connect the dots. They just said, don't lie. But they didn't encourage me to step into my power. They did not encourage me to learn who I was, Roxelle Kanoho Aloha Rivera at the time, now Cho. Instead, they just told my 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 8-year-old self, don't lie, it's bad. So we just went through life just fearing lying and tried to people please and saying the right things. And as long as people were happy, didn't call us a liar, we were good, right? Wrong. Now that I'm a mom of 4, now that I am a business owner, now that I am an influencer in a way, leading a brand that inspires women to live confidently in their skin, I had to reverse engineer that teaching of to not be a liar. And I had to figure out this equation on my own. Because what I realized is if I just led life not being a liar and having that in my head, all I ran through my mind was, how do I please people? How do I tell them what they think is the truth? I learned there was different variations of the truth and different perspectives. And sometimes what you feel what I felt was my truth at the time felt like a lie to somebody else, felt inauthentic to someone else. When they viewed me and their judgments and their lives that having gone through their own journeys, my authenticity and my realness might have been viewed as a lie. So it took me this long, I'm 35 years now, to decide for myself to, funny thing, this card came up today. Trust my intuition, it's strong. My body is wise. I got wisdom in my body. I don't need outside validation. It took me 35 years to come to terms with that. And I'm still learning along the way how to trust my wisdom, how to trust my intuition, because only by doing so would I know what the truth for me would be. Isn't that funny? If they had just changed the words a little when we were young kids, right? But in all honesty, they're just words. Words are just words on a paper. Words are just words. I had to learn how to trust my intuition by feeling into my thoughts, feeling into my body, feeling what being uncomfortable meant, feeling my anxiousness, feeling my sadness, feeling my joy, feeling my anger, feeling all different versions of my emotional scale to be able to determine what the truth for me really was. Because if I did not do that, then my truth would have been whatever they threw at me from the outside and whatever they perceived my truth to be. And along this journey, I have learned that that was not a powerful way to live. When we are deciding for ourselves that someone else's version of me was my truth, I was never going to find fulfillment in that type of life, living to please another person, living to have them say, yes, you're doing a good job, live to receive all the likes on social media, live to be the most popular person wherever it may be. that was not my truth. My truth was still growing. My truth was still making mistakes. My truth was I was still human. And sometimes humans get scared. And sometimes humans do things to make other people sad. As we're learning and as we're growing and all of these things. And I learned to love my mistakes. I learned to learn from my failures. I learned to grow from the times I just felt like I didn't do a good job, or I could have been a better person. I could have been a better friend. I could have been a better daughter. I could have been a better mother. I could have been a better wife. I could have been a better employee. I could have been a coulda. Coulda gets me nowhere. I didn't get here today. I didn't succeed in my business. I didn't succeed in my relationships. I didn't succeed in anything by coulda-ving. That's not a word. So, you know, it took that. It took standing in my darkness, owning all of that, owning the inauthentic parts of yourself. That's how I got to authenticity, true authenticity. I could not say what my truth was if I didn't try out some options that weren't necessarily me. You know, it was like as a child, you know, I grew up in certain religions. I did things, I dressed a certain way. I liked certain things. I pursued certain hobbies. And then some days I changed my mind. And when you change your mind, people think, oh, well, you wasted your time there, didn't you? You spent 5 years in this, doing this hobby, mastering it, and like now you're not interested. What a waste of a life. You spent time in learning spirituality in this way, learning religion in this way for 5 years, 10 years. What a waste of time now that you changed your mind. You spent time pursuing people and friendships that didn't last. You must be a bad person or a bad friend if you can't maintain those relationships. These are all things that were projections of other people's realities onto mine, which at the end of the day didn't matter at all because they don't affect me. They don't affect you. They shouldn't affect you. The moment they affect you and they trigger a reaction out of you, that's the lesson, guys. Take it. Get really excited because you found something that you didn't know before. You're like, whoa, that made me sad. That comment made me mad. That comment made me insecure. That comment made me want to react in some way, whether it be crying, anger, whatever, revenge for some. But reality is, if their words affected me, that was my lesson. Why was I feeling sad? Why was I feeling mad? And by going through those occurrences over and over and over and feeling like you're feeling, let me tell you right now, you learn a lot when you sit with yourself and you discover your own truths and your own stories and your own things that make you happy. And you realize all of those times and years I realized none of that was wasted. I became the me I am today through every single one of those experiences. And I love who I've become and who I'm becoming. And so for those of you out there who still are wiggling around trying to get comfortable in your own bodies, your own truth, you know, who wake up every day still a little bit concerned of what other people think, because we all are human, and I still wake up days where I'm still wondering what other people think of me, unfortunately. That's just a human trait, and every now and then we come back to it, but how much control does it need to have over us? Zero. We can also choose that. So we can choose to be aware of it. We can choose to not let it have an effect on us. That's how powerful we are. So going with our card for today, my body is wise and my intuition is strong. I believe that's what needed to be said for the day. And thank you all for jumping on today and just feeling my vibes, being inspired with me, really just living in your joy, continuously finding ways to make yourself happy, because it is a difficult thing at times, especially in the world we're in today. Being happy sounds, harder, easier than it is in real life, and you're not alone in that. And so, but just know, it's our reminder that we're wise. We're allowed to trust ourselves. It's not always going to be the easiest thing, but on the flip side of it all, you standing in your truth, you taking back your power, you using your voice to create the reality that you want and you deserve is so worth it. So aloha, ladies and men, if you're here, thank you so much for jumping in with me, having a little morning tea time and sharing just positivity your way, sending love, light, aloha, good vibes to you wherever you're at in the world. Thank you. Aloha.